guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a ring perch, and it's really easy, but it looks like you tried really hard. This is from Peaky. I can't remember the name of the blank. It's like 6.25. Just a glide. Anyway, it's got a pretty good perch profile to it, and this technique works with just about any bait that has like actually pressed in texture or scales or stuff around the fins or gill plates or anything like that. So it's pretty sweet. I'll show you what we're doing here. First, we're going to take a little opaque black, and we're going to blast the whole side of the bait and pretty much just wipe it off with a rag. So check it out. You do want this on pretty heavy, so just crank up the pressure and really let her fly. We're just going to coat the whole side here. Just like so. Now before we let it sit there all day, let's go ahead and I like to wipe backwards, so just wipe it. You don't want to take all day trying to get to it either, because stuff can dry fairly quick. Try to get down in the groove. Just like so. There it is. Wipe a little more pressure and a little more wiping at the bottom. I'm trying to get rid of any streaks, like we've got a big streak here. Sure it'll fairly nice. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit more of the color off at the bottom. So all I'm doing is just going to take the same old rag, because this is kind of a messy technique. Get you a little bit of water, put it on the rag, kind of let it soak in good, and we'll just get it right over the bottom here. Just work your way along. Good. Now it looks all nice and messy, dirty. You get an idea. It just gives it all that deep background color for everything that's going to go on top. So now what we got to do is just blast the other side here. Done. Put your shad dot on it. You could probably really wear them out with something like that. We're gonna keep going here and get this perch done. All right, so next up we're gonna use a little bit of this bloodline stuff. This is bone white. I'm gonna clean up the bottom, pull away a little bit of this texture from the scale stuff. I don't want a lot of dark down there, so we're just gonna paint underneath of the bait. Get all that cleaned up, kind of fade everything in a little bit, feather it out, lighten the fins up a little bit down here on the bottom. Okay, I got the pressure down about 20-25 psi, and I'll go ahead and pull some of that crazy dark color out of the bottom here. Not all of it, still on a little bit. We're just going to get a little bit of a belly fade. Okay, there we go. A little bit more over here. A little bit more over here. Just go up around the chin there a little bit, keeping it mainly on the bottom. Might want to put a little bit of color there. There we go. That's good enough. I kind of just phase it out towards the bottom, give it a little more natural look. Alright, so next color we're going to introduce here is the transparent bright yellow. Also, I pretty much always use Create Text. Once in a while I'll use a little bit of Vallejo, or that's really about it. Just stick with Create Text. Stuff works, it's cheap, and it just works. Anyhow, we're going to do all the sides. We're going to bring it all the way down to about the fade line roughly. Not super thick, super bright. Okay, here we go. Kind of just keeping it on the high side. Okay, let's do this side. Yeah, get a little more yellow over here. Yeah, that's probably looking pretty good. Imagine if it looked like that. Let me clean the brush and we will go ahead and move on to the next color. Alright, next on the list, I'm going to take a little bit of transparent bright green. And now we're just going to probably just spray right on the top and let it just very lightly bleed over. We don't want this going all the way down because this will overtake that yellow like really fast. So let's just focus on the top and kind of just let it bleed over the shoulder just a little bit. We don't want too much. I pulled this back to about 20 psi again. So we're just gonna, I like to look straight over the bait so I can just drop it straight over top. And it'll be all right. Don't want a lot of this. Like I said, it will overpower the yellow really fast. Okay, all we're looking for in the color here is literally just this real small strip across the top. It does not take much, and you will easily ruin this if you let it bleed down into the bait more, because it'll just look green. Okay, next on the list, we are going to be using I use these little sponge brushes, and I take a knife or a pair of scissors, and I hack that up as, I mean, just about as rough as I can get it. You want like little pieces hanging off and just kind of make a mess of it. Just barely take, I don't know, let me see if I got one here. Here's a new one. Well, it's bigger, but this will give you about roughly how much I chop off the top of it, and just kind of round it out and just cut that thing as rough as you can get it. That way it leaves some interesting shapes on here. This is what we're going to use to lay in our bars for the perch. Put this back here where you can kind of see what I'm doing. Like that. Okay, I'm going to put this on with a little transparent black. This will allow a little bit of that undercolor to show through. So all I'm doing is just going to put a couple drops on here, dip the brush, run the brush out on here to get some of the color off of it so it ain't just super bold. And just see how we do it here. Okay, so these fish normally, not always, but normally have 7 stripes. So the way I've been doing it is 4 on the back, 3 on the front, stopping at the gill plate. And then you can texture the head a little bit afterwards, but I'll just start dropping them in here. I'm just dabbing it into the end of this thing, just like so, and then kind of knock some of the paint off like that. So I know I want one on the front side. Just kind of drop him right in there. Okay. And do one. If I get that thing away from there. Having a hot holder. Okay, we'll put one back here. And we're just looking for basic shape right now. We don't want to get too wild. Nothing really matters, and then we'll put one roughly in the middle here. And bring them down the body a little ways. None of these are ever perfect, so don't stress out over not getting the perfect shape of your lines. And just bring them up together a little bit. Okay. Now the back, I'm going to do one on the tail. And we'll put one right up here. Yeah, something like that. And that'll be perfect. Let's get it close. And we'll do one in that area and one in that area. Drop in a little paint. No magic tricks here, just blobbing it on there, kind of letting it be all broke up like how they are. Okay. Put a little bit up on the head. Just try and tie some of that in. And I'll put a little bit down right there. Okay. Nice. That's a good start. Now we need to, I normally do one side, clean my cleaner out here, or clean my foam brush out here. I don't want it drying inside the brush, so I'll do one side, clean it out, dry it out completely. Otherwise you'll get inconsistent textures. And then I got a couple of these, so I just grab another one. That way I can keep moving for you. Got a couple more daubs of this. Right there. And get all that tied in. And now I'm just going to start dropping this color in on the back, just to try to tie in all this stuff. Don't stress about it, just slap you some color in there, and however it ends up, it ends up. Don't think the fish care that much. Okay, there we go. Looking pretty perchy, if you ask me. A little bit there, a little bit up there. Okay. Nice. Okay, I'm going to bring just a real light shade of brown over top of that after this dries out. Probably heat set it. Okay, just to tie in the top a little bit, I'm going to use a little transparent dark brown and literally just spray straight over the top and let it fade some of that green out of it. Okay, just turn here. Next up, we're going to put a little bit of transparent orange. We're just going to highlight these fins. There's no need in touching the top fin. It's totally fine the way it looks, in my opinion. We'll put a little bit on these, a little bit back here, and maybe a little bit down here on the bottom. So all I do when I make my stencils for fins or gill plates or anything is I'll take the bait before I paint it, lay a piece of tape on it. This 2-inch stuff works fine. Smash it down into the thing, or like into the impression of the fin or a gill plate, and then, you know, take a pencil or something and draw out the exterior of it, peel it off, stick that tape on. Some of this stencil card stuff, you can get this at Walmart, and then just cut out the pencil line, and then you should be able to just set it on the bait, just like so. That keeps you from blowing out your color, and just that way you can lay it right in the fin. Anyways, it's easy, it's worth doing, and it makes your fins look a lot better, so it ain't just a big mess. Alright, so let's do this front fin right here. That laid, if I can. Jeez. There, about. I'm gonna have to finagle a little bit. It's close. A little bit back there. A little bit on the front side. Okay. That's good enough. Flip it over. Pivot that over. Okay, let's just lay this on there the best we can get it. Okay, there we go. Got some orange highlight on the fins. Now, if you're doing the back, and I want to spray it down, like downward onto this fin, so I shouldn't get any spray upward on it. Let's just go ahead and put a little highlight on it. I'm kind of just doing the edge of it. I don't really want to do the whole fin. It's probably more than enough. Over and get this side. Okay. A little bit more over here. Okay, that'll work. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little patch of orange under here on the belly. It's not necessarily that they have it on the belly, but there are two fins down here that they normally are similar in color of orange, so I'm just going to put a little paint down there for reference as to where that would be. And we'll just, not a lot, I'll keep it kind of light, but just in between the hook hanger and just about right in there a little bit. Not a lot. Okay, it's starting to really get perchy on me. So just like a lot of fish, and it's hard to say I don't like doing this because I do it all the time, but transparent flamingo pink, I'm going to put a little bit up here on the bottom jaw, maybe bleed it up a little bit on the sides of the mouth. A lot of fish have a lot of like real fleshy looking skin up there, so where your pink will come in, it'll tie that in. Okay, we're down to like 30 psi roughly. I'm going to try and just spray directly, I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to try and spray directly into the mouth here, and I don't want a lot, so normally not super vivid, but it is there, and that may have, that's probably all I want, really, just enough to kind of separate the mouth just a little bit. Okay, I think we're good. Let's see if we can pick out some eyes. All right, here's the eyes. We're gonna be putting them on there. Really gives the lifelike. I'm just kidding. Probably the closest thing I got to a perch eye. It's a little gold, but I think it'll be fine. there it is, guys. I hope you learned something. If nothing else, you can apply this technique to the bars to other fish. I would say something's going to eat this. It is pretty fantastic looking. I've done a few of these already. I haven't got to fish any yet. But maybe this will be the one. I don't know. I really appreciate you guys for stopping in. And let's get on to the reveal and see how this thing looks like with a clear coat. Thanks.